Hello everyone, today we are back with our new episode. I know that it's been a while that we are not recording and we are not sharing, and we are back again. And today we have a new sponsor and we want to introduce our sponsor you to today. So far you were listening to our real voices and we hope that you liked it. But if you want another version of our voices, we can make it for you with Fish Audio.
If you're a podcaster, content creator, developer, or honestly anyone who tries to bring their stories to life with AI voices, you should look no further than Fish Audio.
Forget those flat and robotic voices. Fish Audio's latest model adds natural breath, pauses, and even laughter.
With over 200,000 voices, they beat the likes of 11 Labs in both speed and quality, delivering all that at half the price of competitors.
If you want to hear it yourself, get started with their free trial by clicking the link in the show notes. Fish Audio, bring your stories to life in seconds with the most realistic AI speech. And now let's go back to our topic for today and what are we going to talk about. So we were thinking how we should go back to our episodes and our flow. And according to our last experience in summer school that we had, we wanted to talk about a bit of Mediterranean effect and different experiences, culture, people there, and also the differences that we experienced, and all in all.
Yeah. So the thing is, we were on a week long, I think, even for some of us, even longer than a week. Some of us came back earlier, but you stayed, I think, 2-3 days longer more than me, so you can also have more experiences to talk about. To Sardinia, which is an island, part of Italy officially, but it's separate from mainland Italy. And Turan has always had this passion about Mediterranean and people in that region and how warm they are. So he brought the idea, maybe we can talk about this in this next episode of the podcast. So here we are. So what do you like about these people? What is your obsession with the Mediterranean people?
So we already knew, like, whenever you go to south of Europe, you feel like there is a difference. Now we are living in Sweden, in the top north of Europe. So you can definitely observe and see the significant even differences in some cases, like how you talk and how your discussions escalate and so on. So, and in France, we've been in France as well, the things were going a bit differently. They were a bit chill, but they were very close to the, let's say, Middle Europe. And when we went to Portugal, for example, last summer school, and then Spain, you can see people have different preferences and different kind of lifestyle. I mean, it's also arguable that if it is better for them to improve themselves, this is another topic, maybe we can touch it later.
What do you mean improve?
For example, when we were in Italy, like in Sardinia, let's start from there, people are very chill. Like the main thing that they care about is their life and how they can enjoy their life better.
Yeah.
And they don't much care about money and stuff. They're like, they can open their pizzerias when they want. They can close their pizzerias when they want. They can cook if they want, and they can sell if they want. And for example, we've been to like many pizzerias, and at least I can say 3 pizzerias were only managed by wife and husband, and they were so nice to the guests, and it was like home, and one husband and one wife are preparing pizza for you, and they're also enjoying the moment that when they are preparing their pizza, and it's like the specialty for them, and then they're enjoying the things that they do. And it's like a culture for them. It's not something, the work that they are going there. And another thing is, we were checking, also doing some research about it, the weather also affects to the lifestyle. For example, when it gets to warmer weather, people have more distractions, let's say outside, to go to the beach, to go to the, I don't know, different clubs and then enjoy with the people, or just go to coffee shops, have some coffee there with the people around in the neighborhood and etc. So more than focusing on your career and more of money and financial perspectives, they are more on enjoying life in a better way, let's say. That's what I meant in that sense.
Okay, so for me, actually, one of the pizzerias that we went to also showed me like the biggest difference that there is between Northern Europe and Southern Europe. It was the first guy, I don't know if you remember, like the young boy, not very young,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think he was like in his 30s, maybe early 30s, and he was so chill. I was thinking, this guy doesn't seem to have any stress. I mean, anybody would like to swap his life with him. And a lot of these are true, but still, I argue that I like the life in Sweden better than in Sardinia, if you forgive me for saying that. And I think it boils down to like the type of person that you are. I think, for example, I'm much more of a type of person that likes to be indoors or like is introvert. Even in discussions, I want like a more controlled, smaller environment. But you enjoy being like among different types of people, discussing with people. Very, very natural and big environment. So that's definitely a factor. But what else did you see in the island? What were some other favorites that you had? And one more thing, did you see anything that you didn't like?
Let's go back to that guy,
Okay.
the young guy. I think that he was preparing like small pizzas, and he was the only pizzeria that working for that lunchtime because we couldn't find any other place nearby. And then we just went to that guy, and then he was asking us like, "Where are you coming from?" And then we were from different nationalities, and we were explaining to him. And then he was like, "Tomorrow you are going to the beach, right?" And then we're like, "No, we have like presentation, and we need to prepare our thesis and etc." And like, no, what do you mean? Like you have the best weather. You are in Sardinia. What do you mean? You are in Cagliari. You should go to beach and then enjoy life. And then we were so shocked because like the guy was very chill, and there was another girl from Argentina, and there they were basically preparing pizzas, and they were also at the same time talking with us, and you can see that what they prefer is to just having the life in the best case scenario, go to the beach, and they were like, "Do you have a car to go to that beach?" And like, "No, we don't have." "No, like it's 30 minutes away. You should go. I will recommend you the best beach in Sardinia." And then we asked like, "Well, what's your consideration?" And then he gave us the location of that beach, and like very chill, very friendly, and very warm conversation, and it can just escalate quickly in a second. Like you just need to open your mouth, and then it will happen.
Yes.
Coming to the things that I don't like, I cannot say that I don't like. Like it's just a preference for the time of the year. So when you're looking at Sweden, people are very hardworking. Like you can say that. Like in cold weather, you don't have many distractions outside. It's snowing outside. What you can do outside? You just need to go back to your office or your home to just work. So it's a good thing actually for North Europe. And then when you're coming on the other side, south of Italy, which is warm weather, sunny, and sky is blue without any cloud outside. It's so hot, but you need to work at the same time as well. And then people being that chill is like how you can say that it's like decreasing the competitiveness in that place. Like if you live there, you're also being a part of it. And then for you to become better in your career as well, which you also need to consider, I think, like if you are doing some tech-related things, if you're not cooking pizza or just doing something, you're not part of the scuba diving training, you need to have some sets and limits for working, and then you should be improving day by day.
Yeah.
And that part maybe I dislike. And also the weather is so hot there. I think like for summer especially to go outside. I mean, it's very good after 5 and 6, but the rest is so hot to be outside as well. But still, like generally I like the warmness and food there, the conversations that you have with Italians, and even though you don't know Italian, they try to speak with you, and they don't mind that you don't know Italian in Sardinia. Like at least for that place, I can say that they were so chill. And the cities that I've been, like in Alghero, in Cagliari, or in different small cities and towns in Sardinia. Yeah, that's my main experience.
I like that you imitate the accent as well. You try at least.
Yeah, I do my best. But I wanna just show how the environment was there, like to express the exact things that happened, the experience. That's why.
Yeah. When you were mentioning the type of jobs that people have and can have in that region, I was thinking, is there any like I don't know, quote unquote, advanced economy in this like south of the Europe, which is neighboring the Mediterranean Sea. Like most of the southern cities of Spain, even, which is like the best economy, I think, in that region, are pretty touristic, right? They're not relying on tech or like on finance or like these more nuanced and more complex sectors. They're mostly based on tourism and like service-based economies. So it has like its benefits, but you should be the type of person that likes there. So I'm imagining a lot of young people probably are going from those regions to maybe to the north of their countries, or even like going from their countries to other countries in Europe as well. So that is a factor as well, as you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, for example, for the tech, I can say that in Portugal, I know that they have special visa for the remote workers. So they want some tech people to come there. They know that they cannot bring the whole companies there, but they can bring the remote workers there. So I think it's one of the best locations for remote workers if they can keep it up away from the office. I mean, for me, it's very hard. I would prefer to work on site with the co-workers to have discussions and solving the problems all together. I mean, for me, it's different, but I know that there are some people that prefer remote work over everything. So it's one of the places in Europe, I would say, because you are close to the mainland Europe. You have good entertainment, and the prices are very cheap. Cappuccino is less than €2. And if you want to go in Sweden, espresso house, it's going to be 40 SEK or 40 kronas or something for you. So yeah, I mean, generally you can earn more with your remote job if you are experienced in your work, and then if you are disciplined that much. But as I say, like I cannot imagine the companies build their whole structure and whole team there. But yeah, I mean, and also they have more food-related stuff. Like for example, they had the wines and areas that they only specialize in wine. They had their own beer. They have many pizzerias, and basically they have their own ecosystem there. And it doesn't need to be like high level or high tech. They just need to have some tourists, and they know that their main top season is like for 6 months or so, and the rest of the year they're probably just doing some stuff at home or something like that, because they don't have many tourists, and it also affects the economical situation. But in Italy even it's very different, because in the north, in Milan and close to Milan and in Rome, they have so many industrialized regions and cities and towns, and in south it's totally different. It's just okay. I mean, Italy is, I think, a beautiful place, and you can see differences with north and south as well. North is like how to say, like in France or south of Germany maybe a bit, but most likely like the lifestyle. I mean, and yeah.
I see. The thing is, for me, starting from the point that okay, you don't have like many, like not a big tech sector, and like more like I don't know, complex type of work there. If you backtrack from there, it for me goes back to the point that it makes the life there quite boring for me. Like for me, it's a fine thing that you go there and you go for vacation for a week, but living in Sardinia, or even I would say in many other parts around Mediterranean Sea, is very boring. Like there's not much to do, if it makes sense. So on a personal preference basis, I still prefer these like northern countries to those in that regard as well. So it's not just the way that people interact with you. It's also the feeling that, okay, outside is nice, the weather is good, but how many times are you going to do the same things over and over again? And it kind of gets repetitive, I think, after some time. I don't know if you have the same feeling, or you think you can live there for long term, like for a year or more even.
I mean, I also like Skellefteå for summer if it's sunny outside. And as I say, for me, it's a very good place for vacation if you have a summer house here, because like the lake is beautiful here. It's cool. It's not that hot as other places in Europe. And you can just enjoy your life for a week or so, like 2 weeks. And it's a beautiful place. The nature is beautiful. It's green everywhere. the air quality is one of the best probably I have ever seen. Water quality is also very good. It's the best I've ever seen, let's say. And I think you need to kind of articulate, like you need to change and then go between. Because going to Italy for me, it was very good refreshment. When you're living for a long time in Sweden, you feel like you're also going a bit of introvert and you're losing your social abilities because normally, I mean, it's my experience, maybe for someone it's different, but you don't normally usually talk with people around you. It's like everyone is socially introvert, kinda. But in Italy, it's totally different. In supermarket, in the restaurant, in the beach, like random talks, in the hike, like you need to just open your mouth, say buongiorno, and then you are in the conversation, random conversation that you've never imagined.
And I've seen you many times.
Yeah, I love it.
Just saying buongiorno.
And after coming back from Italy, I feel like I am more talkative even with people around me in Sweden. Like, it's just a scare kind of that when you talk with Swedish people in here, after living a long time in Sweden, it can create awkward moments, like you're scared of it. But when you're coming back from Italy, you don't have that fear, you know, you just jump in the topic and then you're from there. And another thing that I liked about there, like how it felt me like a refreshment after all these deadlines for the thesis and etc. is like I felt a bit close to my own country as well because the hospitality and the talkativeness. I mean, in Baku, still people are getting less talkative, I think, and then less friendly maybe, but generally the things that I have seen in the small villages in the regions in Azerbaijan, it was like top version of Azerbaijan. So like, wow, what? And the cars, they are driving crazy. For example, one of the things that I may dislike as well, but I'm kind of used to it, but they're driving crazy. They don't stop, non-stop. And you need to just jump on the road to cross the road as well.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean, there are so many, check and balances that you need to keep it there and just need to work and then go there. That's why I think it's better to change your location from time to time, at least for me, because it's good.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in the north do that. Like they're working in their own country like most of the time, and then when it comes to summer or they have their vacation days, they're just like getting the flight and going to south. Yeah.
And also, when I was there, I was thinking the background why people have the food is kind of similar. They're also using so much like olive in their food, in their salads, in their pizzas, even sometimes in their pastas, like they're using so much seafoods as well, so many seafoods. And it's very similar to Greece and also I think Turkey as well. And then when we were in Cagliari, when we landed, the color, because the color of the scene, like the buildings, reminds you of something. It's not like the color in Sheriff. In color in Sheriff is like blue sky in summer and then green. And the gradients are very vivid, like you can see the difference. But in Cagliari, it's like yellowish. It's like the filter that you use in the movies and etc. And then when I landed, it's like, I have never been to North Africa, but I was like, this place looks like North Africa. And then Cagliari is the southest city in Sardinia, so you can understand the difference. And then we went to archaeological site, and you can see that since Carthaginians, and then after that the Roman Empire, etc. There are so many trades, and I think people came there and went to North Africa, etc. And also the whole Mediterranean was part of the trade, and then Silk Road. I think that's how Azerbaijan is also maybe affected with food culture and the expressions and etc. Because they are very expressive, and the North Africans, I think, very expressive. Food is kind of close. Even the people are very similar to each other. It's just the language, and they have some small differences in their culture. But if you ask me, the culture with the North Italians and also South Italians, they are very different, kinda. And I can say that maybe it's because of the Mediterranean effect, and then Roman Empire, all the empires around it. Then Ottomans came, and then for the North Africa, but they were still trading overseas. I mean, yeah, it's so many reasons to have this kind of similarities and then keep the culture stable there, let's say.
You know what's interesting for me? In terms of like food and like the diet that they have, I think there are many studies that show their diet is like the best thing and it's like naturally perfect. They don't need to add or remove anything to get to a balance in terms of nutrition. But on the other hand, when you look at like one of my favorite indexes, World Happiness Index, they are not as happy as you would expect them to be, actually. So that's another thing. Like all of these metrics that we talk about, like sociability and like the food, good weather, all of them should finally contribute towards happiness. But it doesn't seem to be like that important in the end, in the like final result, which is like happiness or satisfaction. So how do you see that? Do you think it's just because of economy, or there are other factors, or there's like something else that we don't have there?
Probably it's mainly economy, because the places that we're talking about, the like south of Europe or North Africa around Mediterranean, they don't have the best economy in the world, and they are not that competitive in economy. That comes to that I was talking about the competitiveness of their work. Like they are not that competitive in their job, or like doing high level of industry job and etc. And then the happiness also, like it's like Maslow's pyramid, and then mainly you need to have some basics for your economy. And then when you're traveling to those places, I was thinking that there is big inequality. Like you can see very expensive cars and then very old and very small cars at the same time. And when you're going for the vacation for those places, you cannot understand deeply their economical situation. And you're mostly seeing the main city centers. You don't see the outside of the city or main touristic attractions. And talking with the people in, how do you say, like in pizzerias, and there are just average people that have normal conditions, and it's enough for them. It's basically the level of satisfaction for them. They're okay with that. But coming to the happiness level also is affected by multiple points, let's say. For example, in Finland, it's the government style is very different, and they're a very small country. They can have more affection, more on the government that they have. And for example, let's say Finland, and they are, you can go basically walk into the parliament and then say your word there. I don't think it's that possible in Italy. And I mean, Italy is a big country, or other European countries, main European countries, like not mainland European countries, that they have more people and it's hard to manage as well. And then the economical situation fluctuates a lot. It happened in Greece that they had economical situation, but when I was living in Greece, I could see that still people are having some satisfaction of life than the East, let's say. And I don't know how they do those surveys and etc., but I can say that it's mainly probably because of the economical situation, and when you're going for vacation, you don't see that much.
Yeah, I think for people that go vacation there, probably they get a boost in happiness as well.
Yeah.
And it is also the fact that you don't really experience the day-to-day life of people there. Like obviously what you get from there is the scenes and the food and stuff, but you don't get to like experience life in the same way that people experience day-to-day. Interesting point.
And also, for example, what I can say about the happiness, I mean, it's like momentarily thing. Like, for example, when we went to laundry, there was one old Italian lady. She also came there for her laundry, and then we were also doing our laundry with our group mates. And then she just stepped in, and then she was like, she started speaking Italian, and then we know some French words, and then we are trying to bring our Latin family group words and then bring together to speak with her. And at some point we saw that our Italian is not enough to talk with her, and then we just stepped to the ChatGPT or Google Translate to talk with her. And she was so happy. Like at that moment she was smiling, and then when we were understanding her, she was like, bravissimo, bravissimo, bravo, bravo. And then she was talking how she went to Spain, how she went to San Francisco, and how she liked San Francisco as a city. Meanwhile, us talking about Rome and Florence. and she was like Belleville, like a beautiful city, and etc. And then at the end, we told her that in just few hours we learned Italian from you in a day, and then she was so happy at that moment that she talked with her, and then she even helped us to fold our clothes. She was like, no, you don't fold it in the right way, like in Italian. And then she just grabbed the clothes from us and then showed how to fold. Oh, you do it like this.
Imagine that in Sweden.
Oh, no. And so many things happened, and then we were talking like how she was asking how to use the machines, and we were trying to explain her. And generally, like, she was very thankful that we helped her, and then we were trying to speak with her. We were going back to the hotel to get some cash and coming back and then speak with her again while waiting for our laundry. I mean, it was a kind of very interesting moment. Like, you cannot get those moments in every place. Like, those are the things that make your travel and trip priceless. And they are the ones that are unforgettable. Like, you know that moment what you've done, and then you talk with the local people. No English at all. But we are trying to speak in Italian. We were not even putting the speaker from the Google Translate. We were trying to read it to her, and then she was trying to fix us and like fix our mistakes there. I mean, yeah, it was very nice generally.
Yes. So with that, we come to the end of this episode. Thank you very much for watching the episode. See you in the next one.
See you.